Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm finally able to be bringing you my my Week 8 game from Season 3 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now, I am very sorry for the delay to this. This is due to a number of reasons. Firstly, I've been away this weekend for a lot of it, doing various things and stuff. And secondly, I did record this already, but my recording decided it was going to cut out random bits of dialogue whilst keeping the same, screen thing. So it got massively out of sync, for no other reason, I guess, than because it could, and it wanted to piss me off. So, yeah, that's basically the story of why this is so late. I'm having to re-record this on the day of trying to edit. But, as you all know, we are 2-5, we need to win every single game we've got left in order to come out of this league this season with a positive win-loss ratio, which is just awful. But we're not the only strugglers, Our opponent this week is also struggling. That is none other than Liam, aka Unlawful Exile, the Unlawful Exile. His links will be down in the description below. If for whatever reason you are not subscribed to him or you don't know who he is, I don't know why you wasn't. He is he's a legend, so his links will be down there. Check them out, obviously. So he's 1-6 at this point, so we're both pretty much struggling quite badly, and we both need this win. Now, my team. If you missed my team building analysis video, there will be a link to that in the description as well. If you want to sort of see my thought process going into this game, the mons I brought, the sets I brought on them, the moves, the EVs, everything you need to know will be in that video, so do, if you want to, go and check that out before watching this. But to very briefly go over it, we've got a pseudo-bulky, fairly speedy Weezing, we've got what I think is Life Orb Tornadus, we've got Assault Vest offensive Latias, bulky-ish, speedy-ish Mega-Scizor, Scarfed Crocodile, and Choice Banded Jolly Blaziken. Now, on Liam's side, my opponent this week has decided to bring the following mons, those being Vaporeon, Mega Venusaur, Mamoswine, Staraptor, Mew, and Galvantula. So exactly the mons I thought he was going to bring, which is good. There's no surprises there, which is nice, but it's still a tough team to deal with. Those two in the middle, Mamoswine and Staraptor, are super spooky. If Weezing goes down, Mamoswine is going to run Train on my team. Staraptor is going to do that whatever happens. I don't really have a choice in the matter in that one. What it's going to really be a case of is trying to get up hazards to deal with that Staraptor as much as possible. Break any kind of potential sash on the Galvantula, though I'm not expecting him to be sashed. I'm expecting fully offensive. Work out for God's sake what the Mew is and, take it out as quickly as possible. And wear down that Vaporeon. That Vaporeon is looking to be a problem. I don't have anything stab to hit it super effectively. My best bet, you're looking at Energy Ball on the Lati, or just hitting it ridiculously, monstrously hard with High Jump Kick on on Blaziken. So yeah, wear down the Vaporeon, get rid of the Mew as quick as possible, get hazards up, and try and isolate those big walls so that he has to take massive damage on Staraptor, and use Weezing to deal with the Mamoswine as it's supposed to. But that's pretty much going to be me going over the team, so without further ado, let's get right into that battle and see exactly how things played out. Okay, I'm going to be leading with my Scarfed Crocodile this game, as Liam is going to lead with his Galvantula, and we're going to see a very interesting turn 1. I'm going to go for Stone Edge, land it, take him down to that actual sash. Liam is straight off the bat just going to go for a Bug Buzz, and that is going to, turn 1, take out my Crocodile. Now, this looks like a horrible start to the game. However, Crocodile, in doing what it's done, has actually served me really well. And I'll tell you why. The fact that I've led with Crocodile means one of two things, I think, to Liam. Either I am Scarfed, or I am a lead offset with Rocks and sort of potential anti-lead. I think he gets Torn. Now, the fact that I did not show Intimidate means I am Moxie. That will most likely mean to him that I am, in fact, the Scarfed set. What this does is it stops him going from Sticky Web, which he was packing, and the reason is, if he knows I'm Scarfed, I'm going to outspeed him. If he goes for Sticky Web, he is basically letting his Galvantula go down when I have two possible very prevalent defogers on my team. Now, unbeknownst to Liam, neither my Mega-Scizor nor my Lati are at packing default this game, but he doesn't know that, so it would be a waste for him at this point to go for Sticky Web and let my Crook basically take this guy out or start doing massive damage depending on what he wants to switch in. So Crocodile goes down turn 1, but it has very crucially prevented him from getting up Sticky Web. It remains to be seen if that is going to come into play for the rest of this game. So, getting back into it, I'm going to go into my Scizor. Now, Liam is going to want to save this Galvantula for either fodder or getting off a hit on the likes of Weezing later on, or my Tornadus if I outspeed. So he's going to go into Vaporeon, predicting me to just want to take him out with a Bullet Punch, but I predict him to want to save his Galvantula, and I'm going to go for the U-turn, get some useful damage onto the Vaporeon, and get myself some initiative in the process. And what I'm going to do is go into my Latias, and this pretty much after he gets his leftovers, where I'm going to reveal to him that I am not in fact the defensive set he thought I was. I go for Energy Ball and do a nice clean 48% to this Vaporeon, as he goes for a Toxic. So, I'm getting some nice damage on his walls. Vaporeon has taken a lot of damage already, and he can't stay in here and take another Energy Ball, because he's going to go down. So, what he's going to do, Liam, is go into his Mew, as I just go for another Energy Ball. Now, he is a very powerful, potent Mew set that you're going to find out in a little bit. Now, I think he was probably banking on me being choiced here, but I do in fact pack the Shadow Ball, I get the special defense drop, which doesn't really matter. As you can see, Mew is going to go for a Calm Mind, and that's super scary. Calm Mind Mew is a very scary thing, but Latias has done a really good job of isolating it here. I go for the second Shadow Ball and take it down. So, what I wanted to do early, get rid of the Mew as soon as possible, I have now done, which is absolutely fantastic. We're back on parity at 5-all turn 6. But what Liam's going to be able to do here is bring in the Mamoswine. I have no interest, not now, not ever, in taking an Ice Shard, which I know he's going to go for at this point. So I'm going to go into my Weezing to absolutely tank that hit. He goes for the Ice Shard, does just over 20%, and he shows himself to be Life Orb, which is grand. At least he's not Scarfed. So Weezing is looking really solidly set against this Mamoswine. Liam doesn't want to take a Will-O-Wisp on one of his premier physical attackers, so he's going to go into Vaporeon to try and sponge that, and that's exactly what I do. I go for the Will-O-Wisp. Now, what you're going to see here, after sort of this turn, is that I get my recovery first. Liam does not notice this, and Weezing is going to be able to go for the Super Speedy Taunt to shut down this Vaporeon as he goes for the Wish. I was really happy that that managed to work out. Weezing once again back up at really nice health. However, I don't know if an uninvested Sludge Bomb is going to take this guy out from here, so taking no risks, I'm going to go into Latias, knowing that a Scald is most likely incoming, and as you can see, that's exactly what Liam is going to do. It does nominal damage, and I take a wee bit of Toxic after turn as he takes Burn and Leftovers. However, Vaporeon is pretty much done for here. Pretty much everything's going to outspeed it, so I'm just going to go for an Energy Ball, and that is going to take down Vaporeon. So once again, another thing that I wanted to take down relatively soon, the Vaporeon, has been successfully worn down. So that's grand. Now, once again, of course, Liam is free to bring in the Mamoswine. I want to keep Latias around for maybe a couple more hits later on, so I'm going to do what I did last time and go back into my Weezing. However, Liam is a better player than that. He sees it coming a mile away, and he is going to take this one opportunity to go into his Galvantula and try and get a big hit off on my Weezing. Now, I have nothing that really wants to take a hit from Galvantula at this stage, and I know I can take one. So he's going to go for the Thunder. He is going to get the Para, which is mildly unfortunate. But it's okay. We break through, going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and that is Galvantula down. So, no rocks on his side at all. However, what he does have on his side is what he's about to bring in now, and that is the terrifying Staraptor. Now, I don't want to take a hit with Weezing just yet. So what I'm going to do is go into my next best thing to do that, and that is my thankfully already Mega Evolved Mega-Scizor. Now he's going to lock in on Brave Bird and get a slightly high roll at 51%, but we do take it, and at this point he's not going to want to risk the roll. He is going to switch out Staraptor, and he's going to go into his Venusaur to try and take a hit as well as possible, as I just go for the very obvious Bullet Punch. And that does a fair amount of damage, and I'm going to try and pause it here. I was calcing, as we always do, and Bullet Punch doing that much, I was thinking, wow, okay, this is clearly some kind of offensive Venusaur. Because that did sort of a lot more than I was expecting it to do. Reason is because on the Nugget Bridge calculator, it automatically puts in Mega Venusaur. So I was calcing not against a regular Venusaur, so I was going to be a bit confused a bit later on with some of the things that happen with this Venusaur. I assumed he was going to be fully offensive, all the moves and everything. So I don't want to take a potential hidden power fire. I'm going to get the hell on out of dodge, and I'm going to go into my most expendable Mon, which unfortunately for me is Weezing at this point. So Liam is going to Mega Up with the Mega Venusaur, and he is going to absolutely come out of left field with Light Screen. Not expecting it in the slightest. So I was really thrown for a loop by that. I wasn't expecting Light Screen, I didn't even know it got it. Now, unfortunately, I'm paralysed, so I can't outspeed him. I would have done, and I would have probably gone for a Will-O-Wisp that turn, and then Infestation later. But I'm paralysed, I break through, I get the Will-O-Wisp off, feeling like that's more important than the Infestation, because it will rack up a little bit more damage when Weezing's gone. Now here, Liam's going to go for HP Fire, it'll take out the Weezing, and if I wanted to be cheeky and switch into the Mega-Scizor, it would have done massive damage to that too. So, he is getting hurt by his burn, but now I can bring in one of my big hitters, and that is going to be my Choice Banded Blaziken. Now, he is going to die from this hit. Banded Flare Blitz is going to absolutely decimate that Mega Venusaur, no chance of him living it. And now Liam can bring in the Mamoswine, and we are going to pause this game here, because what's about to happen is a huge, huge moment in this match. My Blaziken is Jolly, Max Speed, Choice Banded. It doesn't matter if he has thick fat, he is going down to this incoming Flare Blitz. Mamoswine is Jolly, Max Speed, Life Orb. I am going down to this Earthquake. We are both base 80 speed. This is a speed tie. If I win this speed tie, he has only Staraptor left, he has to lock in on a move that's probably going to cause him recoil, and we'll have to see where we go from there. If he wins this speed tie, Blaziken goes down, Latias and Torn both go down probably to an Ice Shard, and I only have Mega-Scizor, who is not going to be able to take out the rest of his mons. So this is a very important moment. Blaziken has pretty much done all it can. This, for whatever happens, is going to be its final turns in this game. So, who's going to win the speed tie? Let's find out. We win. We skillfully win the speed tie. Down goes the Mamoswine, and that is absolutely fantastic. It is 4-on-1. But that one, as the light screen wears off, is this guy, Staraptor. We're pausing again for what is going to be the last time. Now, 4-on-1 looks like a great situation, but as we know, Staraptor is absolutely terrifying in the extreme. So, there are a few things that we have to discuss before these next few turns happen. First and foremost is something I did not address at the beginning of the video, and that is that this is on Showdown. The reason this is on Showdown is because we had a couple of disconnects early on, you know, when we were trying to do it on Wi-Fi, before the match had even started. So we thought, screw it, we'll go on Showdown, it's going to be easier. Now, we also, on Showdown, one of Liam's mons in the first instance that we played was accidentally level 100, so we had to go through a few resets to try and make the match as fair as possible, which is absolutely fine. But, early on, and this is something that a few people have brought up, I know Trav's brought it up, I know Alex has brought it up, the unfortunate thing with Showdown is it shows you exact percentages of how much damage your moves do, which means that when it comes to calculating, you can really easily tell the exact item and nature of a Pokemon. So having seen the damage roll that this Staraptor got on my Scizor earlier on in the game, I knew for a fact that this is Adamant Scarfed Staraptor. I knew that. But because we're on Showdown, I didn't write that down, which I normally do if we're playing Wi-Fi, because there's no way of telling. It also means that by the time it came round to this turn, I had forgotten he was Scarfed, and for whatever reason, I thought he was Banded. Now this is going to come into play here, because if I'd have known this guy was Scarfed, my play was to go straight into Latias, sack it off, sack off my Tornadus for recall damage, and use Blaziken's Choice Banded Quick Attack and Scizor's Bullet Punch to take out this Staraptor. Unfortunately, in my mind, he is Banded. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sack off my Blaziken here, which I should not have done, because in my mind, I think I can outspeed him with Latias. I can't outspeed him with Latias. I go into Latias thinking I can just drop a Thunderbolt on this guy. He's Banded and oh my god, he's Scarfed. And I panic a little bit because I thought I've thrown this away. I can't beat this guy. So now I have to really start to panic a little bit. I go into Tornadus with the sole intention of letting it die. I know I can't deal with this thing with Tornadus. I have to just use it as recoil fodder. And now it comes down to whether Mega-Scizor can take this guy out with Bullet Punch. I am not very invested at all. We're going to go for it though. And as you can see, we take him out. Down goes the Staraptor. Scizor takes the victory, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the game. So, what a game. What an amazing game that was. Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Liam, for an awesome game. So many twists and turns in that one. Great sets, I think, on both sides. You know, I think we surprised each other with a lot of the things we bought. For example, that light screen Mega Venusaur, I was in no way, shape or form expecting. I didn't think he'd be Sashed Galvantula. You know, on my side, the the Speedy Taunting Wheezing, that was really nice on my part. And various other things doing work. Banded Blaziken, Offensive Latias, actually doing things for once. I've now got 3 KOs, which, you know, is an alien concept, given that in the first 6 games it got no kills. And yeah, I guess it did come down to a few very crucial things. That speed tie was absolutely crucial for me. If I hadn't won that speed tie, things would have been incredibly different. And, you know, the first turn as well was really key. It looked like a really bad start for me, which is in fact probably the best thing I could have done, was to sort of force his hand, in a way, into taking out my Crocodile. It was a big threat to his team. He knew I was Scarfed, he knew I was Moxie, so he kind of had to take me out, but that of course meant he couldn't get up webs at the time, and I was able to stop him from doing that for the entire game. So that was very crucial. A bad looking start that turned out to be a real key factor in this match. But what that means is that PSG are now sitting at 3-5, which is fantastic. Well, it's not fantastic, but it's better than 2-6. So yeah, that's the first of these last 4 games won. Now we just need to win the next 3. Not going to be an easy one. Next week, we take on RTK and the Portland Timbers. Now, last season, that was an incredible game that came down to a very close 1-0 with some massive moments in that as well. So hopefully, we can try and have a similar game with what I hope to be a similar result. That being a win over RTK, that would be really useful. To try and keep my Season 1 dreams alive, you know. Season 1, Division 1 dreams alive. Liam, he unfortunately slips to 1-7, but we needed that win. It was a great game. I think we both played fairly well. But yeah, thank you to Liam once again for the game. His links, as I've mentioned, will be down in the description. Absolutely make sure you go and check them out. He is a fantastic person, a wonderful human being, a great guy. And, you know, he's Unlawful Exile, you know. Watch his videos. Look at his Twitter. You know, set up cameras outside his house and take incriminating videos of him, if that tickles your fancy. But yeah, check out his links. Of course, links will also be in the description to the PPL Twitter and YouTube for all things PPL to keep up to date with all kinds of transfer news, manager news, everything you need to know will be in those links. Links, of course. Who else is linked down there? Titos, of course. Titos will be always linked down there for creating the beautiful thumbnail templates that we are all using this season, so check out him, he's very talented. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap things up from me. I've rambled on far too long, so yeah. PSG 3-5, looking to go 4-5 next week against RTK. Will we do it? Stay tuned to find out. But yeah, I am going to get out of here, so my final thank you to you all for watching, and I guess with that, I'll see you next time. Laters.